Okay, so the reading this week was talking about this research study done about using mathematics in um, with technology in schools. The first part of it just kind of talked about the basics of using technology in school, and then as it went on, it talked more about the research side of it that they did, um, how the teachers responded to it, how they used iPads and computers, and then simple technologies in the classroom, like the document cameras, was something that they used every day and they found really important. One thing that I thought was really cool was teachers recognized that the students really were more involved and participated more when technology was involved, because it's kind of a fun, different way, something that they're not used to. But the big thing was teachers saw that they needed more work and more education about the technology to become more fluent in it. And I think that's something that's really prevalent today and a big reason why we're taking this class. So I had a couple questions I came up. The first one was talking about what kind of technologies would you use in your classroom one day, whether it be the bigger things like each student having their own individual iPads or Chromebooks, or just something simple like using doc cams. What do you think would be best for your class? My second question is talking about as you as a future teacher, what kind of technologies do you think you'd integrate into your classroom, and would you use them for subject matter, specific subject matter, and if so, what subjects do you think would be most useful to have these technologies in? And lastly, how would you classify if technology had been effective in your classroom? How would you go about deciding if it was effective, or if you decided that it wasn't, how would you work on making it more effective in the classroom? So for that one, I think it'd be really important to do keep doing studies, or taking notes, kind of doing your own research as time goes on, just seeing how students respond to it, if it helps enhance the education, especially in math, if it's giving students a different way to understand the material. I think that's one way to prove that technology is super effective. But if it's getting in the way, they're having more issues not being able to concentrate on that with the technology there, or it's just causing more confusion because you're not able to fully explain with the use of technology, I think that'd be a reason that it'd be ineffective, and a reason to take it out of the classroom. But a way to maybe, if they're not understanding stuff, maybe getting different videos and stuff, so you can use that technology in a more effective way. When it talks about using technology in your classroom, question number 2, I think I would use technology in my classroom. I think there's a lot of benefits for using it for math in the classroom, especially with ELL students. That was a part that I read about that I thought was really interesting. It gives those students another opportunity to learn the mathematics and maybe have it in their own language, so they can understand the concepts first before they get into having to do the concepts in relation to the English as well. If they can get down a basic concept in their home language, it's going to make it a lot easier to be able to do it in another language. I think maybe one of the bigger things also would be in reading. It would be really helpful to have technology in the classroom, because a lot of students don't understand can't read very proficiently, or have struggle with reading and understanding what's happening. So maybe if you had your Chromebooks where they could put in headphones and they could listen to the stories that you're reading to better answer the questions, that would be really helpful for some students. And lastly, what kinds of technologies would you use in your classroom? I think the biggest thing would be the document cam, because it gives students the opportunity to go up there and show their work, explain what they're thinking, really gives them that positive experience, so that they can boost their learning. Because if they see that they're doing it right and they're able to share it with their classmates, not only is it helping them, but it's also helping the classmates, because they maybe see a different way of doing it than what you taught in the first place. I feel going further in, I'd also use technology one-on-one with students, so that they can get a better grasp for it, because in the world we live in today, technology is becoming more and more prevalent. So if we're able to explain to the kids that, yeah, this is how you can use technology to be beneficial rather than just pushing it off as being a distraction. I feel like that would be really, really important for the students.